It started like any other daytime TV moment. Bright lights, laughter, two friends sitting across from each other trading jokes like old times. But then, Blake Shelton leaned back, smirked that signature Oklahoma smirk, and dropped a line that froze the entire studio. Kelly and I are so cross-wired in Nashville, we could probably share a toothbrush. The audience gasped, laughed, and then did what fans always do with these two, read between the lines. Because that wasn't just a joke. That was a confession wrapped in country charm. The kind of offhand truth that only slips out when someone forgets the cameras are still rolling. And in 3 seconds, Blake Shelton told the world why every roast on The Voice felt real, why every glance carried history, and why their friendship has survived marriages, divorces, and decades in an industry that eats most relationships alive. Tonight, we're rolling back the tape on that moment, the one where the banter stopped being TV and started being truth. What Blake really meant, how his life has been intertwined with Kelly's for years, and why fans are demanding a duet that could break the internet. May 2025. Kelly Clarkson's stage is lit like a lightning storm. The crowd is already half standing before she even walks out. She's glowing in electric blue, all confidence and mischief, ready to command her turf. A few beats later, Blake ambles in. Boots scuffed, denim jacket hanging loose, grin ready. The energy in the room shifts instantly. This isn't just a talk show segment. It's a reunion. Kelly starts swinging first, teasing him about his songs about Texas and about how Oklahoma should borrow a border. The audience howls. And then Blake, never one to lose a sparring match, tilts his head and goes for it. We're so intertwined we probably share a toothbrush. For a moment, there's silence. And then the room detonates. Kelly doubles over laughing, tears at the corners of her eyes. The cameras catch everything. The unfiltered joy, the crackling tension, the chemistry that's too natural to be scripted. It's the kind of moment publicists pray for and can never plan. Because it wasn't just funny. It was real, and that's what made it go viral. Within hours, the clip was everywhere. X, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts. People couldn't stop replaying it. Not just because of what Blake said, but because of what it meant. Before anyone starts drawing family trees, no, they're not actually cousins or romantically entangled. When Blake said crosswired, he was talking about something more intricate, the Nashville web. In Music City, everyone's connected. Managers, producers, songwriters, exes, it's one long hallway of familiar faces. Kelly's ex-husband, Brandon Blackstock, managed her career for years. His father, Narvel Blackstock, managed Blake Shelton. That's one link right there, and it's a big one, but it doesn't stop there. They've shared the same writers, the same studio crews, the same tour hands, the same holiday parties. Nashville isn't a city. It's a small town with a megaphone. If you've been there long enough, everyone becomes everyone's people. So when Blake cracked that toothbrush line, he wasn't inventing a metaphor. He was summing up years of overlap of work, history, and maybe even a few secrets that will never make it past those studio walls. To understand the real story, you have to rewind the clock almost 2 decades, 2006. Printer's Alley in Nashville. Blake's still the guy with a cowboy hat and a handful of early hits. Kelly Clarkson's in town, fresh off American Idol, singing like the world owes her an apology. They're two working musicians who've both fought their way through industry storms. They weren't friends yet, but they knew the grind. Same bars, same after-show pizza, same weary, call me if you need an umbrella kind of texts. The connection deepened in 2007 when Kelly waged a very public war over her album My December. She refused to record a watered-down version of herself, and the label didn't like it. It got ugly. Headlines, criticism, pressure from every direction. Blake didn't tweet support. He didn't make grand gestures. He just sent quiet messages. You're not crazy. You're doing the right thing. Don't let them silence you. That's who Blake was in her story. The guy who checked in when the noise got too loud, who sent a meme when the interview went bad, who made her laugh when she needed it most. Fast forward to The Voice. Their on-screen feud became TV gold. Snappy comebacks, perfectly timed digs, endless laughter. But for all the teasing, the truth was that their dynamic was never fake. It was shorthand. A friendship built on years of mutual respect and behind-the-scenes loyalty. Kelly once admitted that when she was struggling emotionally, she'd walk into the Voice studio, see Blake's face, and immediately feel better. He was that constant presence, the chaos wrapped in humor. And when she eventually left the show, Blake famously said, "Y'all ain't firing my Kelly." It sounded like a joke. But it wasn't. It was loyalty, plain and simple. Kelly's marriage to Brandon Blackstock ended in one of the most public and painful divorces in music history. The legal battle lasted more than 3 years, involving property disputes, management conflicts, and custody fights. During that time, she barely spoke about it. But people close to her said she leaned on her friends, and one of them was Blake. He didn't talk about it publicly. He didn't take sides. He just showed up. Quietly. There were rumors that pizza trucks started showing up outside her talk show studio on Fridays, tabs covered by someone with a Nashville area code. Nobody confirmed it. Nobody had to. That's how their friendship works. Silent gestures, inside jokes, unspoken loyalty. Once the interview aired, the internet did what it always does. It exploded. Within hours, hashtags like Sutter's Toothbrushgate, Crosswired, and Yodel with Kelly started trending. TikTok creators posted montages comparing old clips from The Voice, highlighting every look, every smile, every laugh. Twitter, or X, if you're fancy, became a battlefield of opinions. 73% of fans called their vibe siblings energy. The rest swore they were soulmates trolling the world. One viral comment summed it up perfectly. "This is every PTA friendship that survived 3 principals and 2 superintendents. Loyal, chaotic, built to last." That's the magic of Blake and Kelly. They aren't pretending to be perfect. They're just perfectly real. Here's the thing most people miss. Their brand isn't rivalry. It's refuge. On camera, they roast. Off camera, they reset each other. Kelly is the fighter, direct, emotional, relentless. Blake is the porch light, steady, patient, always on. He knows when to step forward and when to step back. That balance is why the toothbrush line hit so hard. It wasn't scandal, it was solidarity. In a world where every friendship gets turned into clickbait, theirs is one of the few that's built on trust. The kind of trust that lets you say something outrageous on live TV and know the other person will be laughing harder than anyone. Now the big question, will they finally record together? Fans have been begging for a duet for years. Blake once joked in a 2004 interview that he and Kelly should sing something before we're too old to remember the words. 2 decades later, the moment feels right. Their voices were made to meet halfway, hers slicing through the air like sunlight, his grounding it with warmth and grit. Imagine a CMT Crossroads episode, a surprise single drop at midnight. Or maybe Blake just showing up on Kellyoke one random Tuesday and turning the internet upside down. The music world is ready. The story is perfect. All they need to do now is hit record. But here's why this story really resonates, especially with women over 40 who've watched them grow. It's not about fame. It's not about romance. It's about resilience. They've both seen the storm. They've lost, rebuilt, laughed, and kept showing up. They've done the late-night math of being working parents in a world that never stops spinning. They don't sell a fantasy. They sell friendship. A friendship that's messy, funny, loyal, and beautifully human. That's why their dynamic connects so deeply, because it mirrors the relationships most of us wish we had. The kind where someone can tease you publicly, but still check in privately when you're breaking. When Blake Shelton looked Kelly Clarkson in the eye and said, "We could probably share a toothbrush," he wasn't flirting. He was saying the timeline out loud. He was saying, we've lived through the same chaos. We've survived the same headlines. We've earned this friendship the hard way. It wasn't TV chemistry. It was life chemistry. That's why you're still thinking about that line 24 hours later. That's why the clip keeps resurfacing. Because every now and then the camera catches something real, something too honest to rehearse. And when it does, you can feel it. So what happens now? Don't hold your breath for a full-blown tour. These two are busier than ever. But a single? A live event? A viral collab? That's not just possible. It's inevitable. They've already given the world the tease. The only thing left is the payoff. If you're a label exec watching this, you're not asking, should they? You're asking, how fast can we make it happen? Because when country soul meets pop fire, the result isn't hype, it's history. Drop your call in the comments and pitch the song. Should they cover a classic? Or release something brand new? Whatever happens next, one thing's for sure. Blake Shelton and Kelly Clarkson, don't need to pretend to have chemistry. They already do. They've spent years brushing off storms, brushing up each other's spirits, and yes, maybe even brushing shoulders in the same Nashville hallways. So no, they don't literally share a toothbrush. They share something better, trust, timing, and a friendship that's weathered everything fame could throw their way. And that's why when Blake said the quiet part out loud, the world listened, because it wasn't about a toothbrush. It was about everything they've brushed past together.